Hi, I'm Lisa Kowalczyk, Executive Director of the Medicine Hat and District Chamber of Commerce, and I'm joined by Paul Haynes, CEO of South Country Co-op. Welcome, Paul.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
So I have the beautiful rendering of Co-op Place here behind me. You've had some big announcements recently. So tell us a little bit about South Country Co-op and the value that you bring to our region.
Yeah, so, again, just working together, and that's what co-op's all about, is providing local support to local businesses and to our members. Just over 62,000 strong now. South Country Co-op, we operate in 19 different communities through southern Alberta, and I think in a total of 51 locations. So definitely a business that continues to grow. This particular situation with the Co-op Place naming rights was something that it came our way, and when we saw the opportunity, we thought, what a great opportunity for us to work collaboratively with the City of Medicine Hat in terms of taking over the naming rights. And there's so many opportunities moving forward that we're going to be able to work with them on to make a successful event center for Medicine Hat.
Well, and I think that some of what a lot of people may not realize is some of the value that you're bringing to the table in terms of this partnership with Co-op Place. So what are some of the things that you envision as part of that partnership, and some of the elements that you'll be able to bring in as co-op?
I think the biggest opportunity for us is we're local. We're a local run business with our head office here in Medicine Hat. And I think there's so many opportunities, not only from a marketing perspective, but just in terms of some of the events that take place there that we can co-sponsor or co-market with the City of Medicine Hat to make those events successful.
Well, and of course, we can't forget that you have a fabulous line of food. I'm sure that we'll be able to see at the Co-op Place in the future.
Yeah, there's definitely some opportunities for us to supply food products through to Co-op Place. In addition to liquor, we'll be able to supply them liquor. There are obviously other choices that they can buy from, but I think working together with the new general manager, I'm really excited about the fact that we can definitely offer him the very best pricing to be competitive in the market. And one of my goals moving forward is to make sure that they have what they need when they need it. And that's something that we can definitely provide them support on.
Well, I, for one, am quite excited to see what will develop out of that partnership moving forward, and particularly after we're out of this pandemic.
Yeah, I know we took it on. We came on at a bad time, but we're looking well beyond this. I had some good conversations with even the manager of the Tigers, Willie Desjardins, and he basically told me he'd love to see us turn the event center back into a family place. So we had a discussion when we remember back in the times going back many years ago where families could bring their children out. It was affordable. They could bring them out to a hockey game. They could afford to have a meal, a hot dog and a Coke and something like that. And so we're going to work really closely with the management of Co-op Place to make sure we can make that happen again and make sure that the price will fit basically the celebration to come out and enjoy hockey or any of the events that take place at this center.
Awesome. That's so exciting. And I know Co-op as an essential business has been dealing with a lot during this pandemic from the very beginning and still to this day. And so tell us a little bit about your experience. Obviously our Co-op workers are frontline workers in the service industry. And what are some of the challenges that you faced, and how have you overcome those?
Yeah, so when the pandemic started back, I believe it was early March, around March the 8th, definitely something we immediately put together a committee. So our executive leadership team put together a pandemic committee. We met every morning to put as many safety protocols in place that went out to all of our locations just to ensure the health and safety of our team leaders and members, and for sure all of our customers that shop those facilities. So that never changed. It seemed that every day we had a new challenge, whether it be employees being off due to sickness or illness, or just didn't feel comfortable coming to work. We had to immediately hire replacement workers, which we were able to do, and then make sure we had those individuals trained up so we could provide the same level of customer service required. In addition to that, as you know, the panic buying situation went on. So definitely our volume went up quite a bit, in that first interim period of time. And so that was challenging because we had a number of shortages in the food line where we couldn't supply all the food products needed. So over the last several months, that's improved substantially. We still have a fairly high shortage rate compared to normal levels, but we are continuing to work through that as time goes on.
So what have been the most beneficial supports to Co-op and from your perspective for other businesses during the pandemic?
And I can say that I'm just so proud to be here in Medicine Hat, Lisa. Definitely the Chamber of Commerce. I know I look at your website. I've been in contact with yourself, other directors. I can tell you that the Chamber is there for everybody to help out. And boy, what a resource. So I just encourage everybody, if you're not a member of the Chamber of Commerce, you need to become one, because I truly believe that working together in Medicine Hat, that's how we're going to get through this thing. It's that, it doesn't matter if we work from somebody down in Arkansas, say at Walmart's head office, or from Amazon, but if we support local businesses and we rely on each other to get through these tough times, I believe that's truly what's going to take us through in the end.
Absolutely. We're all in this together. And, by working together, I think we can truly come out of this and thrive moving forward. So what do you see in terms of the supports that businesses need to be successful moving forward? And I know, South Country Co-op, you have so many different product lines, but what a lot of people don't realize is that you also have businesses, particularly, I know the 13th Avenue Co-op Mall, you support small businesses in that retail mall as well. So, from your perspective, not only for Co-op, but some of the other businesses, what kind of supports do you see are needed?
And I think that's so important today, as we have to take a look at, all business today have to pay rent, they have to pay lease. So that's something we're working very closely with each of our tenants to work through the difficult times. There are a certain amount of government subsidies available, obviously, for different types of businesses, and whether they had to close down or whether their sales were definitely reduced. But we're doing our very best to be open with them, to be honest, transparent, and just listen to their concerns and their needs and work through it with them. We're trying to not work on something that's for today, but I want to make sure that in 6 months or a year from now, we have every single one of those businesses are still in place, operating their business. That's my goal as we move forward.
And you've done some really cool things, Paul. I mean, I've had the opportunity to attend the Co-op market, the autumn market that you had when you kicked that off, and that's continuing on. So obviously looking at different things to generate traffic, to support some of those businesses. What exciting things do you have in store, and what can we look forward to? It always seems like you're working on something new, Paul, and Co-op has done just an exceptional job in this community. So I'm always excited to know what you have in store.
Yeah, I think that's one thing, again, really focusing on we got so many great local businesses here in Medicine Hat in Southern Alberta. And I think what we need to do is make ourselves aware of what's right here, right in our backyard. And I think if we realize we're going to support each other, and that's why I think we got as many as 12 to 14 of these local vendors came into our 13th Avenue Mall. And I can tell you, Lisa, the phone hasn't stopped ringing. So we were only open for 2 weeks. And then due to the pandemic, we decided it was to our best interest to shut down, to support the medical system and what's going on to take those numbers down. So we've done that temporarily, but going forward, once we get past this, we're definitely going to open that market back up again. My goal is to support all of those businesses, because you know what, if that brings traffic into my mall, then the rest of the tenants and we succeed in our food store. So there's a perfect example of supporting each other and working together to keep the revenues and the monies here in Medicine Hat. That's so critical. I want to make a comment. I was at a city council meeting here when we did do the official opening or announcement of Co-op Place. And it was Councillor Turnbull that made a comment that, it's easy for us to all go online and shop through Google or shop online from Amazon. But at the end of the day, it's the businesses here that Medicine Hat are going to sustain the communities that we all want to see grow and continue to prosper. I had my next door neighbor says to me, I'll tell you what, have you been in the mall lately? Several businesses are shutting down. And that's one thing that I think we can control that. we can control that by not shopping online, by shopping more local. So I think the first choice from everybody right now moving forward is, can I buy this local? Can I support the local business in Medicine Hat first? Because someday down the line, you know what, that business may employ my son or daughter. And I think if we can find a way to keep the circle of revenues here in Medicine Hat, I believe all the businesses have a chance to succeed.
Yeah, and I saw that presentation. I love the fact that you can watch council live. They stream it, and he was absolutely right. Amazon isn't, you know, sponsoring our local hockey teams, sports teams. They're not donating to our local charities. And I know I saw your new commercial about all the ways that Co-op supports local, and certainly that ties into our Local First campaign, and making sure that we support and choose local first, because they are the ones who pay taxes in our community, that go towards providing those social programs. They, you know, employ people locally. They give back within our community in so many different ways. And Co-op is such a great example of really that whole local first movement, for sure. So what's one piece of advice, Paul, that you would offer to other businesses?
Well, definitely, again, I'm going to mention it again, definitely reach out to your Chamber of Commerce. There's just so many things that you're aware of, just in terms of some of the subsidies that are available for businesses. But just in addition to that, it's all those relationships you can form with several of the people that work for the Chamber to be able to direct you to something that may be an opportunity for yourself. So again, collaboration, getting to know the other owners in Medicine Hat, and I think just all working together to gain more knowledge about how to move forward and pivot your business to be successful.
Oh, thank you so much, Paul. I got to say to our viewers, that's completely unsolicited. So
It was,
I appreciate
but it's true. It's true.
So I know you've said this in several parts of this interview today, but what is that one thing you absolutely love about our community?
You know, I got to say it's about the people. Just in my careers, I started off in Regina. I was a Regina boy, Saskatchewan boy, moved off to Vancouver for 15 years and then to Calgary. And so ever since I've lived in Medicine Hat, which has been about 8 years now, I can tell you I truly love all the people that live in this community. They're friendly. So many people get together, they work together, they get along. I just think we got so many good things going in this community here. It's just, I just love it here. I don't think I'm ever going to leave. I think I'm going to retire here, and I'll be here until death does me part. So,
well, that's great news for us, because you've been an exceptional addition to our community, and we certainly, I've really enjoyed seeing what you've been able to do with Co-op, and Paul, you were so invested in this community, and we thank you for all your work. I was going to ask one more question, but I think you've already given us a shout out. I was gonna ask, what's the one thing you love about the Chamber? And but I think you've gone above and beyond in giving giving so much credit to our organization. So I thank you for that. And I do thank you for being one of our community builders, as not only an individual, but as an organization. You have an outstanding team at Co-op, you know, within your head office and all of your locations. Anytime, you know, I go in, it's like a family, right? You always know the individuals at the till and in the retail locations, and it's absolutely a great culture that you've built up. So any closing words that you have, Paul?
Yeah, I just like to say again, just for this yourself and the Chamber, good things don't happen from poor leadership. I think from yourself down, Lisa, great leadership at the Chamber of Commerce. And I know working with you guys, it's really helped myself out. It's helped a lot of our other leadership team out. And so what a great opportunity for everybody out there. If you haven't engaged, please make sure you reach out to your local Chamber of Commerce. They're there to help. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul, and thank you for your time.
Yeah.